Okay, so this is an informational review thingy for the Carson MicroBrite microscope. It's a little handheld microscope. I actually have more than one of them. I ordered them from a different site, but this seemed to be a good place to put a review on them. Here's one that's actually out in the open. It has a little black base that I set somewhere else, and I totally don't remember where it is right offhand, but not a big deal. So, I'm actually using an entirely different microscope here that has a CCD, so I can actually get video. We may have a bit of compound magnification, but this will still give you an idea of what the scope can do. I was going to talk a little bit about my experience with this versus some of the other scopes, because I actually have several different types of little handheld microscopes. This one's pretty good, especially for the price. It's nice and handheld. It's good for kids because you can press the button here on the side to turn on little LED lights. And then there's a simple zoom ring here, which I don't do much with. I usually adjust the focus here. And so you kind of look down in there, hold the button, and then adjust the thing by hand here, and you'll get a clear picture once you get it in proper focus. And so the zoom actually sets it between the 20 and 40. For the most part, I'm going to hang out at the 40x so we can see the large end and to save some time. I've got a couple of different things that we're going to look at here in just a moment. One downside of this compared to some of the others is there is no way to get video or images permanently, like on a computer or just taking a picture, that sort of thing. You might be able to do it with, say, one of the smartphones, putting it above and catching a picture that way. I don't know. I don't have a fancy smartphone, so I can't really test that. But I have been able to test this, and this is a way that I can actually get the video to you, so we're going to do that. Aside from its lack of a CCD, for the most part, this is a pretty solid little microscope for handheld, fun, educational type things. Or if you're a hobbyist, say a stamp collector, we're going to take a look at a stamp. That might help you some. It's pretty good magnification, about on par with the other stuff that I've seen. It comes with a watch battery instead of the regular loadable batteries. There are upsides and downsides to that. It should actually give you a bit longer battery life for what its purpose is. The nice thing about it is if you put this in a drawer somewhere and forget about it for a couple of months, watch batteries are far less likely to corrode and cause damage. So that's a good thing as far as I'm concerned, especially for the design of the equipment. One of the other ones that I have, you actually load in 2 AAA batteries, and I just have to keep an eye on it to make certain that I use it or swap them out or whatever if I'm going to not use the scope for a while. So let's take a look at some of the actual magnification. So what I'm going to start off with, let's go ahead and start off with the stamp. And this is going to be a little weird, but I'll do what I can on it. And I should have this more or less lined up. There we go. Now I'm going to have to play with the focus a little bit, and I apologize that I'm about the video on this. It's kind of hard to do multiple things while keeping it specifically pointed right where the camera can see it. But there we go. There is our stamp. We can actually kind of see the halftone pattern of the ink. It's a bunch of little dots that make up the color. And so I can adjust a little bit through focus. One of the big tricks to get down with microscopes is to kind of go one direction that's a little out of focus, go the other direction a little out of focus, and then you kind of go back and forth and you get a feel for it. So that should be pretty good focus right there. Just for edification, I shall try and, I'll try and go to the lower mag. There we go. So you can see that's zoomed out a bit. There we go. So that's our stamp. That one's kind of cool, but that one's harder to get an idea as to what the magnification is. So the next thing I'm going to look at is some cool anti-counterfeit stuff that we've got. So I've got a couple different bills. So this is a $20 bill. Hopefully I've got this in the frame properly. If we look close to this T right next to Mr. Jackson's head, if I get this right, we should be able to see some micro printing along the side. I'm going to move that mouse. This is going to take a moment for me to get A, where I can see it, and B, there we go. So that's part of the W, and we're going to go with that. But let me make certain that it's in good focus. There we go. It's kind of hard to see, but we've got along the side of the W, 20 USA is what it says in the small print. It's kind of running along the side of the W. Let me see if I can get a slightly better image of it, but it's kind of hard doing the compound motion. Oh, there we go. Right there in the crux of the W, you can see it, USA 20. So, the next one I'm going to look at is one that I've always liked, and I do a lot with educational stuff with microscopy. On the sides of $5 bills, you'll see little loops. If you look closely in them, you'll see that there's something there that you can't quite make out. And it's actually yet another instance of microprinting. Let me see if I can get this in frame. Almost had it. There we go. I will get better at this, I promise you. Dollars. So we can see dollars there. Let me see if I can get the... No, wrong way. $5 is what it says in that microprinting. I had it there for a moment. There we go. $5. So that can give you a pretty good idea of what the magnification is on these. You can see it clear as day with the this little microscope. There may be some compound magnification since this is also a microscope, but it'll give you an idea of what you can't see. You are able to see that. Now the final thing I'm going to look at is my shamefully old cell phone, and I'm going to bring up a picture here. Doesn't really matter which it is, but that's fine. Expand. And we're going to take a look at the LCD display in this. When I tested this earlier, it should work. If I can get this where it needs to be. And I apologize about this. It'll take just a moment. Again, this is about the only way that I could get video of this product. Now I'm focusing using the little hand focuser. I go a little past focus, and then I come back. That, and this is kind of wobbly. You can actually see the little pixels inside the LCD. That part is white because it's got red, green, and blue lit up. Let me see what happens when I go to the lower. Now you can still actually see them pretty well. And then if you look closely, I'm trying to see what that is. That looked like an E, M, O, I don't even know what I'm looking at. Oh, memory. That's the word memory. And so it doesn't light up the ones where it doesn't have a picture. Let me see if I can get blue. Yeah, there's blue. So this is a blue part of the picture on my phone, and you can see that, let me zoom back in. Only the blue and a little bit of the green's coming up because it's kind of a cyan color. And the distortion that's kind of blocking that right now, that's actually on the surface of my phone. My phone's seen some things, man. So yeah, Anyway, so that gives you an idea of the LCD, and the picture that we were looking at was this guy. And the blue part is a crate that I've got. It's just blue plastic. But that's something that gave some color that we could look at individually. For the most part, I actually like this. I'd recommend it. It's pretty cheap for, well, I should say inexpensive. You get a good amount for what you pay. It's a nice little handheld microscope. It's not as functional as some of the others. The other ones, one of the ones that I like that I've done before is a Celestron one that has, it's a lot more expensive, but you can take out the eyepiece and physically put in a CCD. So it allows you to do a capture just like we've done here without having to rig the whole thing up in a laughable manner. But it also has the ability to take that CCD out and put an eyepiece in, so you can do just this, where you can operate independently of a computer, which is really nice. You can take this out and you can put it on anything, like I can look at my laptop here. Kids really love this. They love being able to just put it on whatever they want to take a look at things. Some of the other stuff that I've seen, because you can't really do this like this, kids love to take a look at their eye. Like half of my hard drive is filled up with kids taking pictures of their eyes with these. But that's with one with the CCD. So it's something to think about, but for a fun, play around with, something inexpensive so you can just give it to a kid and let them go wild with it, this is a great option. So hopefully that helps.
Hey, Steve Taylor here, giving you a quick look at the Carson MicroBrite. It is a little microscope, handheld, as you can see by the size of my hand. It's not real large. It is plastic. It is toy-like because it is really a toy, but to my surprise, it actually works pretty well. You have a zoom ring here that goes from 20 to 40 times zoom. You have a focus lever here that brings, as you can see, that brings it up and down. Actually works pretty well and is pretty smooth. A light on and off right here, which is plenty bright enough. Probably the thing I hate about this thing the most, or dislike, is these stupid watch batteries. I don't know why. There's plenty of room to put a AA, AAA, something like that in there, but however, they opted for the annoying, overpriced watch battery. Comes with a couple slides with slide covers, and then the part here that you would use to put the slide into. So I'm doing this one hand. You just press this down, and then the slide will go through here. Works actually pretty well. There's a little silver. It looks like it's white, but that's a little silver reflecting. It's not a mirror. It's just a silver color. And it comes with full instructions that tell you how to use it. Very clear and precise. Very inexpensive. Great for in the house or outside. Inspecting bugs, bark, leaves, everything else. And again, to my surprise, it works pretty well. So I am very pleased with it, especially for the low price. I hope you find this review helpful. I'm Steve Taylor, Amazon.com.